Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. This is Wednesday. We're at the top of the mountain. It's hump day, as they say. This is Wednesday, June 14th. Happy Wednesday to you all. Remember, every day is a happy day when we can wake up, breathe, stretch our arms, and see. No matter if it's raining or sunshine, it's a beautiful day. As my friend would say, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. We are blessed. We are blessed to be here. So remember that when you wake up and you breathe and you know that you're alive, you thank God for your day, no matter what it brings. Just thank God for the day. I have a morning scripture for you. I'm always going to try to have one for you. And it is coming from Psalms 92. Psalms 92, stanzas 1 and 2. It is good to praise the Lord and make music to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your love in the morning and your faithfulness at night. So morning, noon, and night. Okay, I say this a lot, and it doesn't matter. I'm going to repeat myself until you get it. And I know you got it. I'm just saying, I want you to feel what I feel sometimes because, well, all the time. When I wake up and I and I finally get my ball bearings together and know that I have to get up, then I do. I thank God. I really thank God for my being. I thank God for one more day, because then it's like, oh Lord, because I wanted to see this person, or I wanted to tell my sister or my friend, you know what? Yesterday I didn't have a chance, and I'm so thankful that He gave me this chance to say I love you, or I'm sorry, or whatever the case may be. But when you finally realize and you wake up and you go, oh my God, thank you. Thank you. No matter what the day brings, come on, it's like this. He has our back, our front, our sides. There's going to be a lot going on this morning, so I'm going to not rush through this morning, but because at 8:30 we have a guest coming in, her Miss Penny, and she's with the Easter Seals. And so you may think you know a little bit about the Easter Seals. I thought the Easter Seals and March of Dimes was kind of sort of one and the same, and they're not. So I'm going to have her explain some of those things to you and all the good things. You know, I also thought really that Easter Seals was just like for the children, but it's also a program for the adults. And they have a history that dates back to, what is it, like 1907. So they've been around for a while, and I'm going to love for her to tell you and explain to you what it really is about so that we could be more involved in some things. It's also programs out there for adults. And so it really is, it's a beautiful thing. I'm going to give you a little bit of history in just a moment, but I do want to give you a few things that are happening, like in July. Matter of fact, I really want to, and I'm going to talk to you every day, just about my entire hour, leading up to Friday, because Saturday, Juneteenth parade will take place. Yes, WKAX 1500 AM and WMXV 105.1 FM will be there. Okay, so come out and enjoy the parade. They have a lot going on. I believe it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I will have that information for you because it's a 3-day event right here in Florence. So you don't have to travel far. You know, we're going to celebrate together. But I want you to come out to the parade. And, okay, remember, I know you know my name. My name is Janet. And Letitia will be there as well as the rest of the crew here at WKAX and WMXV. And when you see our truck or car going through, wave your hands in the air and act like you just don't care. I mean, just come on out and support and have a good time. We're going to throw candy towards you, not at you. I heard Letitia say the other day she was into baseball, or she used to play baseball or something like that. And so she doesn't want to throw and hit no one in the head, but God bless her. I'll help her out. I'll help her out just to kind of toss it to the side. But yell out, WKAX, or yell out WMXB, and we'll be waving at you. So come out and yell our names, and if I knew your names, I'd yell them back at you. But I will wave. So come out this Saturday. I do believe that it begins about 11:30. We're going to be there to set up earlier to decorate our vehicle. So please come out and support. Not just us. It's not just about the radio station. I'm just letting you know we're going to be there. It's really about Juneteenth. And like I said, later in my hour, well, actually later in the hour, we'll be talking with Miss Penny about the Easter seals. But uh, tomorrow, pretty much my whole hour, not the entire hour, but pretty much, I want to give you a little history on Juneteenth and the festivities that will be taking place this weekend, this 3-day weekend. Uh, and what else? And Friday, especially Friday. Come on, because Friday is when it all begins. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing you all on the side of the road for this parade Saturday. Okay, but I would like to also remind you. So always in the next couple of days, keep a pen and paper next to you for these dates. Uh, July 8th, that's a Saturday, is the Freedom. Okay, wait. Let me tell you. It's about Shine. Shine is putting this run on, and it's a car show at the same, all in the same day. So listen, it's a Freedom 5K run, and to enter, that's $25. Okay, and then there's a 1 mile fun walk. That's me, a walk. 1 mile fun walk and run, and to enter, that's $15. Okay, there's also a car show that will take place, and to enter, that is $20. Their goal is to raise $2,000, okay, and this event supports Shine, inspiring kids and teens' mental health. It's also raising money for their 988 suicide and crisis hotline number. So please come out and support them. Look, it begins at 8:30. The 5K run starts at 8:30. The 1 mile fun walk and run begins at 9:30. This is all taking place at McFarland Park here in Florence. And listen, everyone, everyone who comes out, now I got to see this because they must have tons on top of tons. Everyone receives a free T-shirt and medal. Now I know I'm reading this up because it came hot off the presses yesterday, and I'm reading it, and it says everyone receives a free T-shirt and medal. Okay, I'm gonna give you a number. I'm glad you asked. The number is 256-710-1558. Okay, so again, that's Shine is putting this on for inspiring kids and teen mental health. And they're trying to raise $2,000. I know they can do it. I know you guys are going to come support this. Their goal is to raise a $2,000 also for their 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Okay, so come out July 8th. That's a Saturday. And I know, just save your pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters if that's what it takes. For those who can run, God bless you. I used to say I could only run if something was chasing me. Now I walk, and if something's chasing me, I'm just going to stand there and deal with it. But I just, and even in my younger days, I don't think I really was a runner. And even though I've been in a couple races, I was good. But I'm more of a walker because I like to take my time and look at my surroundings and breathe right. And I just want to walk through. So for everyone that's going to be involved, God bless you, and go out and support them because it's a good cause. It really is. Juneteenth on yesterday. Oh, I believe her name, Miss Melissa. I'm sorry, I don't have her last name, but I'll get it. Was here. Well, actually, she was with Letitia on the afternoon show, WMXV 105.1 in the afternoon, and they were discussing the Juneteenth festivities. So it was a lot more going on than I thought. Of course, I know about the parade because we here at WKAX are in the parade, but there's a lot going on at McFarland Park. So I can't wait to get that information out to you. And when I do have a chance, I would love to give you a little bit of history on Juneteenth. It's important that we know. It's important that we know because, being honest with you, I didn't really hear about it until like some years ago. I don't have me lying to you. I want to say 2, 3, 5 years ago at the most. So, and this has been going on, in some states way before I even heard about it. So there's so much history to us, and it just makes me smile because, like the Bible, you're always learning something new. So I'm excited about that. I really am. And again, before I end my show, I will remind you of the parade that is this Saturday. I believe it begins at 11:30. And so I'll give you more information on that, okay? I'm excited about it. I really am. It's a beautiful thing. But to prepare for our guest who is coming in about 8:30, Miss Penny, and she can tell us more what Easter Seals really has to offer for both children and adults. Because, again, there were some things I wasn't aware of. Of course, I didn't really know the history. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know the history. And most of the time when you get involved in organizations, if you're donating, you don't really know their history behind it unless you're like immersed in it and that is part of your life. You volunteer, you get really involved, then you start knowing the history. But most of us don't. We just know that it's a good cause. We may know enough to make our donations, but it really is interesting. And I know this sounds silly to you. You live and you learn. There are no silly questions. There are no, you know, just because I wasn't aware that they did for adults as well, which thank God. I always thought of things like this for children, but then what about the adults? So let me give you just a little bit of background. The history of Easter seals, if you allow me to say that. It began in 1907. 1907, Ohio businessman Edgar Allan lost his son in a tragic streetcar accident. 1919, he founded the National Society for Crippled Children, the first of its kind to raise money for the awareness of advancement for children with disabilities. In 1934, the organization launched its first Easter Seals campaign. Donors placed the seals, stickers, and about the same size as a postage stamp on envelopes and letters to show their support. Cartoonist J. H. Donahue used the simple design of a lily, a symbol of spring. 1945. The vision was expanded across the country and in communities nationwide, providing services for adults and returning World War II veterans. I guess that's where it started for the adults. 1952, the Lily was officially incorporated as the National Society for Crippled Children's logo, and in 1952 as well for its association with New Life and New Beginnings. 1967, the Easter seal was so well recognized, the organization formally adopted the name Easter Seals. 1990, the American Disabilities Act was passed. Prior to the passing of the act, Easter Seals was a leading advocate actively lobbying in Washington and across the country for its adoption. And today, Easter Seals provides essential services on the ground support to more than 1.5 million individuals and families each year through its national network of affiliates in communities nationwide. And it says here, your life and mine shall be valued not by what we take, but by what we give. You know, in saying that, your life and mine shall be valued not by what we take, and I'm assuming in their donations, but by what we give. We always say, come on, we know this, it is better to give than to receive. As a child, no one's going to get that. I'm thinking about holidays, I'm thinking about birthdays. No, Christmas, you know, even if you don't really receive anything, isn't it a joy for yourself to give something and to see the faces of those children, even an elderly person or someone about your same age? I wasn't expecting anything. You didn't have to do this. No, I know I didn't have to, I wanted to because of that moment right then. So in our donations, whether it be Easter Seals, St. Jude, whatever you donate, also your time. Donating your time is just as important. So if you really don't have uh, the money per se to give, then maybe you could do some volunteer work. Now, I'm going beyond Easter Seals. I'm even talking about at your church, at the hospitals. Um, you know, there are people who just go and sit with people. I think you really have to. I don't know if you could just walk in a hospital and just start sitting with people. There are places that you can go and just if you're not really say, it's just listen. It's a joy. It really is a joy, and I'm thinking about myself because anytime I could do just even a little something for somebody, then my heart is pleased. I do. It just makes me. It's a feel good feeling. When I say it's a feel good feeling, you've had those moments, so you know what I'm talking about. It is so much better to give than to receive, and that's what I'm until the day I die. I like I say, I may not have much to give you as money. I may not have much to give, but I will give my time. I will give my ear. I will give my shoulder if you need to cry on, or if you just need to laugh or talk about something or share, whatever. So let's get more involved and be aware of your family and friends with their needs as well. Okay? And you're saying, well, they act like they don't want help, so I'm not going to talk to. Oh, you can't do that. Even though people act like they don't want the help, do this. Pray for them. My sister and I were laughing the other day. She said, "Ooh, one of the hardest things to do was to pray for my enemies." I know I'm getting off track from the Easter seals, but I have to get it in where it fits in because I know soon our guest will be coming. But when you learn to do that, that's an amazing thing when somebody has wronged you, and first you're praying for yourself and your sanity and Lord, please, I don't want to have to say this or do this. I'm not going to mean it. And then when you learn to say, oh Father, just forgive them or forgive me first if I've done any wrong in this situation, but bring them to an understanding. So you whatever your prayer is for that other person, we have to learn to do that. It is very important. um, because you don't want to live with all that nastiness inside of you. That's not a way to live. That's not how God intended us to live anyway. And if we claim we want to be Christ-like and walk and talk the way Christ would, granted, we're going to make mistakes. When I say make mistakes and slip and fall, oop, you know what? I have to go to a quick commercial break. I got to check to see if my guest is here. You're listening to WKAX. Listen, 1500 AM. We'll be right back. Thank you. told you about the difficulties. Okay. Good morning, and welcome back. I still hear music. I'm just going to keep talking anyway. Okay. Good morning. This is Janet, and welcome back to WKAX 1500 AM. I'm joined, oh my God, I told you Easter Seals would be here. And then we have a pleasant surprise. This is Miss Penny and Jerry.
Jerry Krause.
Jerry Krause. And so they're here to talk to you a bit more about Easter Seals. And I gave you a little bit of the history, but they can tell you now what it's really about. And I, like I said to you earlier, I wasn't sure. I just thought it was for children, and it's actually for adults. So I would like Miss Penny, Mr. Jerry, to talk to you about. Let me ask them the question, and then he can tell you. What is Easter Seals about? What programs do you have for the children and the adults?
Well, thank you for allowing us to be here. Easter Seals, the mission of Easter Seals is to help people with disabilities achieve their maximum potential. And, I know a lot of times that's just a euphemism. Our mission statement is sometimes just a euphemism for a company, but for Easter Seals, that is really what we go about. We want to help people with disabilities to achieve their goals in life, no matter what those goals are. And so I have a staff of great people that work with individuals, both individuals, children, and adults, to help them do that.
And to make them feel more independent, or make them feel like they are part of society instead of just like you're disabled, so we're gonna do easy steps. You make them feel like they could.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we find that's common among the people we work with is they want to feel productive. They want to feel like they're adding to society, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that means getting a job and being able to support themselves so that they will be self-sufficient and not have to be dependent on a check, on the government, on a family member to support them. But they can go out, work every day, support themselves, pay their bills, and feel like they're really adding to society, which they do when they come through Easter Seals, and we're able to work with them and they work with us. And we have so many people now that are out in the community. Pretty much any business you've been in this week will probably have some of the people we've worked with from Easter Seals that are now employed there, working full time and being a good employee.
Wow. That's good. Now, do you actually have the young adults or adults that are able to live by themselves, and they have someone that goes out, from time to time to check on them?
We do, and I'll let Miss Penny South works a lot with our supported employment people, and what I mean by that supported employment, sometimes people with more severe disabilities require a little more support to get started, and so Miss Penny works with that. So Penny, you want to?
Yes, so when they come to us for employment, we sit down and do an assessment with them and try to get to know them a little bit, and before we try to place them in employment. So we find their personality, their likes and dislikes.
Right.
Sometimes, there's issues with smells or noise, touch, different things like that. So we get a feel of that during the assessment. And then after that, sometimes we take them to a business and have them look around if they're not sure what they're interested in. After that, we try to match them up with a owner or a manager that we know would make a good fit for both of them. That way, you're laying that groundwork for them to be successful. If they just run in and take any job that first comes to them, it normally doesn't work.
Yes, I can understand that. I think that's even with ourselves. Mm-hmm. We can't, just because we may need a job doesn't mean that's the job for us.
Right.
So, and you don't want, especially ones with disabilities, to feel uncomfortable, or if the staff or whoever hires them doesn't understand that person's disability, and then they're going, well, why can't you do this? Like you said, noise, smells.
Right. I've had a business recently that I was trying to maybe work with them, and I just didn't get a good feel when I was talking to him. So I there's no way I could put that person, into that business,
right,
if I didn't feel comfortable. And so after we make that fit and they get employed, a lot of times we'll learn that job, and we'll work that job right beside them.
Okay.
And so, because we know how they work, we know what things to do and not do when we're training them, where the employer, they don't know that. And
You're
so
really involved in
yes, we stay with them for a couple weeks. And then after that, if they're having issues, we'll, go back, and we're always there for them.
This is what I love about the program, because now I'm learning, because I didn't know you were. It's a wonderful program, but I didn't know you were so involved in their lives, which then in turn makes them feel better and more confident that you're not just like, okay, we're going to place you and then we're going to leave you.
Well, and one reason for that is we're fortunate that we have the program coordinator, program supervisor, Mr. Leslie. He's been doing this for a long time, and he has a lot of experience in all facets of what we do. So he tries to coordinate the work we're doing. And the other part, when you ask about adults and children, we also have Steve Phillips, who manages what we call our industrial workshop. And in that industrial workshop, we hire people with disabilities, and we contract with private businesses to do projects for them that we can do more cost effectively. So we do that in the workshop. So we're able to, on our premises, hire some people with disabilities to work in our workshop, and we're also able, as I said, Mr. Leslie working with the vocational programs, supporters of employment, programs throughout the schools. So whatever age they are, from teen all the way up to adults, we have programs that are designed to meet their needs.
See, and not only oh my, you not only mentioned the workplace, but in schools. Now, how does that work? When you place them in school, is it just like the work program? You go in with the teachers, or maybe does anyone sit with them in the classrooms? Because I'm looking at a picture now, and I just wondered, are they excited about going? Some of them, and some of them are a little nervous about going.
Well, we thank our partners at the Alabama Department of Rehabilitation Services, ADRS, because they will send referrals to us for kids who are going to school. And the ADRS counselor will be able to determine what services that child needs, and then they send it to us. We go into schools, we work with them. We do programs. One of the programs we work with a lot, we call Smart Work Ethics, and that's a program that goes in and helps teenagers to gain the skills they need for being able to go to work, the soft skills, how to get to work on time, how to dress, how to relate with your supervisor, how to relate with coworkers, to be able to go in and do that, so when they do get out of school, they'll be prepared to go into the workforce. One big program we have now going on, we started it just this month, is what we call our JETS program. It stands for Job Exploration Training Program, and we take seniors and juniors. We actually help them get jobs. They work for 3 weeks in the community, earn money, and by doing that, they gain the skills they need to go to work when they get out of school. So, again, our programs are designed to help people with disabilities to prepare for life and be successful.
That sounds like a program that I think everyone needs. It's not just, that would be nice for, and I guess they do have those programs for, high school students, or even some of us adults.
Right.
We need to learn how to manage our time, how to be on time, how to dress, and things like that. But for the ones who are disabled, and then I read somewhere about the veterans, that program, I believe, was started in, see, now I've got my little friends here. But when they started that, do you guys still have a program? I'm sure you do, for the veterans.
We have all different types of programs, so we don't help just the young,
Right.
individuals. We can go to any age. So, you can be 90, 80, I guess, Jerry, am I right? But we do help with the veterans. It would be the same situation on our end. For as Easter Seals is concerned, we look more into the employment side. Like Jerry was stating, Alabama Department of Rehab Services is where they get referred. So they have, more of the programs that start out with the veterans, and then when they need employment, they will refer them to us. But, we have individuals that maybe have not had a disability in the past, maybe they had an accident,
Okay.
and had a brain injury and then cannot perform the way they used to. So it's just not, some people think
you have to be born with something or
right.
some.
And as Ms. South was saying, and we're fortunate. We have a couple of veterans on our staff. And that's one thing that we are looking to expand our veterans program beyond what we have right now because, as she said, we're finding that some of the people who served our country came back and they have things like post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes.
And so we work with them with that, and we're looking to expand those programs. We apply for grants, and that's one of the things we do. We apply for grants. We depend on funding from private individuals, businesses, because the goal of Easter Seals is to make sure that whoever comes, we don't turn anyone away because of their inability to pay. One of the biggest programs we have now, you mentioned kids, it's primarily kids, is we have our speech therapy program. We have a lot of children now that have problems with communication skills, so we have a speech therapy department that helps those children to be able to learn how to communicate better, and by doing that, be able to achieve success in school. And we also contract with an organization called Reach Therapy, and they provide occupational and physical therapy, both for children and for adults. And, as we were saying a few minutes ago, since I've been at Easter Seals, I've become more aware of so many more disabilities that people are challenged by.
Right.
And we're trying to continually upgrade our services to make sure we're able to meet the needs of those people, whatever challenge they face.
So it's just a lot more involved than anyone thought of, unless you either work at Easter Seals or you're a volunteer there or you know someone who works, as you all do, for Easter Seals. We wouldn't have known about a lot of these things, and God, seriously, God bless you all, because it takes a special person to me to really be involved in such, a program and have the patience and the love to do this type of work, because it's a lot more. It's like you need a lot more funding, and so that's where the donations come in, and I have seen, and it makes you wonder. It's like you see a person with a disability, just say working at Walmart or working wherever, and their attitude is so, upbeat. They're happy. They're confident in their jobs. They're not thinking about their disability, so we shouldn't treat them as if they have a disability.
That's exactly right. In fact, it's kind of funny. We had one employer. We placed one of our people there with a disability. He worked there for a year, and I went back to him and I said, I would like to put him in the paper and celebrate him being here a year if it's okay with you. And that business owner said, well, the only requirement I have for that is that I have to be in the ad with him. He said, because since he's been here, my people without disabilities are producing more than they did before he came here. He said, I wish I had more people like him.
Wow.
He said, because for whatever reason, the rest of my people are not producing more than I ever thought they could. So, that's what our employers find, is that when they get our people there, they don't have to make accommodations and things and think that they're not going to produce as much. In many cases, they produce more and are more dependable employees than maybe some of the ones they've been accustomed to.
And oh my God, you made my heart happy. That was so well said and beautiful, and I believe it because it would inspire me to greatness. Because there's a young man who attends our church, and he was born with no arms, and there was a time that at our church, Galilee Missionary Baptist Church, we had a food drive. Yeah. This young man came out and was lifting boxes and able to just, and we were all in such awe of him that it pushed us to do better. And then, or sometimes he'd laugh with us and we'd go, you know what, you're trying to outdo us. So now we have to, you're making us sweat. Yeah. So it's really a joy to, if you could say someone with a disability seemingly doesn't have one, makes you a better person yourself. That's why I said a lot of us can learn from, the disabled, because they want the same things as we want.
They do.
And
I've been blessed with such a good staff, and as you said, compassion is the key, because my staff is so compassionate, so hardworking, they're so dedicated. They make my job easy because they go out and do such a great job in working with these people.
Well, you look like a very calm, spirited man.
He's easy to work for.
He's easy to work for. And see, and that's what I think it's about as well, is that there's a common goal at Easter Seals. Right. And everyone who's working there or volunteers there has to have the same, feeling and compassion. There's no room for somebody who just, I need a job, let me work here.
Right.
No, because it entails so much about people's feelings and their livelihoods and education and just being, because this world has enough problems. We don't need someone guiding them the wrong way or getting frustrated with someone because they're not moving fast enough to where we think, okay, you should have gotten this by now. No, you don't need people like that. So when you say you have a great staff, it's like, oh my God, I want to work in heaven too. Listen, I didn't mean to keep you this long without a short break, so I do appreciate the both of you. Don't know what your schedules are like, but we are going to take a quick commercial break, and I want to thank Miss Penny South and Mr. Jerry Gross for joining me, and we're going to hear at WKAX 1500 AM. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and thank you for joining me, and I'm just going to applaud right now for them being here, and we're going to, from time to time, I think I will, if you two don't mind, I would like to have you just come out every, just to update us or give us some stories or, you know what? And my mind is going. I know I need to talk to the powers that be. No, to tell you because I'm thinking, and I need to, as they say, talk to the powers that be. But if someone from Easter Seals, one of your success stories, were to come in, I'm loving Easter Seals.
We love that. I mean, we love to do that because we have a lot of success stories and we're trying to make the public aware of that, people with disabilities can be successful, can achieve their goals, and we need them because we need people who are willing to work and do a good job.
And then if they, I think it would be fun for them. But actually, here at the station, we want the community to be more aware, not just like, oh yeah, that's Easter Seals or that's St. Jude, and I'm gonna donate. No, know what you're. Know why you are donating this money and get more involved and make this thing grow and maintain the success that it has. And I say success, not so much monetary-wise, but the success of people, children and adults, and that they have, there's hope.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what I always encourage when someone is thinking about donating. I always ask them to come in. Come in first. Don't just donate. Come in and see what we're doing and be a part of that, or come in and meet the individuals that are working, with these people and trying to get them employment.
Because it really is one thing to just donate your money and then you keep it moving, but to donate and be a little involved, even if you don't have the time to volunteer, but like Miss Penny says, just come in and see what we do, then you're giving. It's a different feeling. It's a different feeling. And then you just go, oh, now maybe I'll volunteer. Or now I'm going into retirement. I can come in for a couple of hours,
Right.
So you do have volunteers as well as
paid
staff.
We do. We're always glad to have volunteers. We sometimes have college interns. We have one college intern now come in. Sometimes the social work department at UNA will send an intern. So we try to incorporate them into what we do and help them use that as part of the training they need for when they go out and graduate. So, yes, ma'am.
Easter Seals is much more than just what is that? Your dime in the bucket or whatever it is. It really is, and to know it's been around. It's really 1907. That's when. Well, actually, when
1919 is when it started.
Yeah. That's when it was actually started because I think that's when Edgar Allan lost.
He lost his son in 1907. That's right. Yeah, and that inspired him. He realized when his son was injured and eventually died, that there were no hospitals designed to provide the kind of treatment for people with injuries like that that they needed. That inspired him to establish Easter Seals in 1919. So.
Isn't it amazing how God works?
Yes.
I mean, I'm just saying that a tragedy became. Look at Easter Seals now, and from one man's thought, there was nobody who could do this for my son. We got to find a way.
That's right.
And look, as I say, look at y'all now. And I know two people from Easter Seals personally now. But listen, we are going to take a quick commercial break, and I want to thank you again. Please, this is your first time, but it won't be the last time. I want this team coming back.
We appreciate you having us.
Okay, thank you. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, no. Appreciate you guys more than you know. And not only for the show, but to enlighten me and everyone else who's listening and watching.
Well, you're a good interviewer.
I don't know about that. You know what? I want to thank you guys. This what you just said because I've never done it before. You're my first.
Well, you just sound like a pro. You're great.
Well, I listen. I just want to come back and say thank you for joining me. I still have about let's see, 6, 7 minutes. I do want to thank Miss Penny and Mr. Jerry for joining me today. They're from Easter Seals, and they gave us a lot of good information about it. And from time to time, I'm gonna bring them up again because it's important that we know services like Easter Seals exist, and that you just don't drop your dime or make your donations here and have no feeling behind what it is that you're donating and what you're doing. So um, I'm really appreciative that they came in. Okay, I've made 2 new friends now, and from time to time they will be joining us. They will be coming back, and there's a lot. Really, it was a pleasure not only to meet them. I've talked to Miss Penny over the phone several times, but to actually meet her face to face, she's a pleasant woman, and you could feel her heart. Um, the same with Mr. Jerry. He's it takes special people to really to be in such a business. Well, I don't want to use the word business. To be in such a beautiful organization that really looks out for people with disabilities, children, young adults, adults. Like Miss Penny said, it doesn't matter what your age is. They're there to help you, and they're very personable. So it's good. That's when God is in them. I mean, the reason why I say that is because it does take a special person to want to be able to give your time and to really guide someone else's life, and to want to make sure that they are living a vibrant life as best as any of us can. You understand what I'm saying? Um, it's a struggle even for us without disabilities, but for those with disabilities, and they have a confident level, just like Jerry said, uh, there's one person who, after a year of working at this place, the productivity of that company, that organization, I'll just say it was a grocery store. I don't think I was clear about where this person was, but he said that that person that Easter Seals has sent, the productivity of that place, all the employees begin to do better and more. So you never know who's inspiring you,
don't just think, don't just think, oh well, I got it going on, and I got. No, you don't. None of us do. As Pastor Knox always says, we ain't hitting on nothing. We really aren't. So all we can do is just to keep living, keep trying, and do the very best that we can. And I'm telling you, oh, it just makes you think differently. Well, and I'm not saying to baby someone with a disability. Treat them the same way you want to be treated, with respect, with love, with patience, with kindness. None of us are really different. We all bleed the same. Our heavenly Father is the same Father to one who's disabled as well as one who has no disabilities. It doesn't matter who you are. We are children of God. And I thank God for people like Jerry and Penny, because I always say it takes a special person with some patience and some love in their heart, truly, not only to do what they do because we all need to work, but because they love it. They love it, and they want the lives of ones with disabilities, whether you were born that way or whether it came later in life or due to an accident, whatever the case may be. Um, Again, we're children of God, and you want to live the best quality of life that you can. And so, for people like Easter Seals, he always kept saying he has a great staff, and it makes his job easy. You have to have the love of Christ in you. I promise to do what they do. Um, that's not to say that none of you don't have the love of Christ. I'm just saying we do, and I thank God for people like Penny and Jerry and everyone who works at that Easter Seals. Um, you thank people for surgeons because there's some things we can't do that they can. So, we all play a part in this role called life. We all have a place in it. God has a purpose and a reason for our being, and He takes delight in us, who He's created. So let's make each other proud. Make yourself proud. Make your daddy in heaven proud. Um, it's it's just a beautiful feeling. But listen, I only have a couple of minutes. I would love to share with you tomorrow, Juneteenth, all the activities that will be taking place this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Again, Saturday we will have a parade, and WKAX 1500 AM as well as WMXV 105.1 will be in the parade. So I believe it starts at 11:30. We're going to be out there trying to decorate our little vehicle. I say little vehicle. Last year it was some big truck. It was it was nice. Oh Lord, and I was thanking God for the air conditioning, even though we had to roll down the windows to toss out the candy. So now that I've had my little taste of my first go round in a parade, then I'm really looking forward to this one. Um, so we'll talk about Juneteenth tomorrow and whatever else is in the news. I just thank you for joining me today. I really do. Today's been a good day. It's a feel good. Here I go with it. It's a feel good feeling and a feel good day. So I really did enjoy our guests today from Easter Seals. I really enjoyed them and their information, and it just makes me think a little differently today. Not only about Easter Seals, but how you treat everyone. Just just treat everyone with kindness and love. Okay. So I want to thank you for joining me here at WKAX 1500 AM, the Winning Worship Radio Show. We are the faith frequency on your dial. I'm here every day, Monday through Friday, from 8 to 9. And I'm hoping that I give you a little something every day, just a little something. I'm really hoping for a whole lot of something, but a little something every day. So I want to thank you for joining me. I want to thank Easter Seals for joining me. And please do me a favor, rain or sunshine, He has a purpose for us. We are here today to love on each other and walk with prayer in your heart and praise on your lips for our Lord Jesus. Okay? I love you. Be safe. I look forward to talking with you tomorrow. Okay?